Hey Taurus, welcome to your March, well we're in March, reading. I am using the Archangel Power Tarot cards as the main deck. It seems like I'm actually shuffling these ones first. As always, you're the first, guys. Oh, turn around. First reading that I'm doing, so you get the little bit of, I don't know what I'm doing for my layout. It's how it flows when I first begin. I have my boys home today. They have been a bit sick, and they're outside now, so please be a bit patient with that. Alright, Rooney Bogues, I'm just doing my readings. Okay, I can't get that ball, unfortunately, for you. I'm going to do it like this. I'm also using the Indigo Angel cards. If you watched my Pousse's video, you'll know which cards I'm using and why. Okay. What is that there? One up here. I have no idea what I'm doing, guys. Let's be honest. I'm just going with what it's drawn to me. So it might be quite an interesting reading. Okay, let's see what's what. So guys, this is very random. I have no idea why I did the cards like I did, so we will see as I'm doing it. I won't lie, I kind of like this, but yeah, let's have a look. I have cards everywhere. It's like my brain. Random stuff all over the place. So first of all, we have Page of Raphael. Gentle, loving, dreamy, open-hearted. This was in a reverse position. Let me see what I can get from it for you guys. Okay, so I'm getting that it is very much be related to relationships. Remember, relationships can be with people, not just relationships in love. However, I'm getting kind of a dynamic with loved ones. I feel as though there might be distance that's separating you. This could be emotional distance or physical distance. Apply that in which way it applies to you. I do feel like, Taurus, that there is this dynamic of distance. Perhaps your partner is away for work, or having to be away from the home, or perhaps you're not even living together, just a dynamic where they may actually be physically distant from you. And I feel like this might just bring up some emotional things for yourself. However, it doesn't feel bad. I just feel as though that's something to be aware of. However, I feel like you're in a very spiritual place at the moment, so I actually feel as though this space could be very good for you, actually diving into your own kind of thing. I feel like for the relationship wise, it can be very positive and helping you to really open up, perhaps be more vulnerable, in a sense of having a better understanding of where you fit within a relationship as well. It just seems like kind of insights, kind of feeling insightful within your own relationship. I do feel like travel could be on the cards as well in terms of relationship. This could be a distance thing as well. If you have a long distance relationship, there may be like dreaming of traveling and organizing a travel, or setting the sights for kind of a holiday, a break away, that kind of thing. But I feel as though you are kind of key to whatever this means. Like, I feel as though you're the one, I'm just going to make sure I get the right words, because as I'm kind of finding the words, it's not feeling right. Because I want to say it's like you're the one riding the carpet, like as though you're on a magical carpet. But it's not. It's like, maybe it is like you're the one that's driving the magic within the relationship, being the more nurturing, or being something that's driving it. I can't fully grasp onto that, so we'll see what else we come up with next. And also in reverse, but all of this column is reversed. With these cards, I do kind of read it as more as it's kind of amplified energy within them when they're reversed, rather than like in traditional tarot. Page of Gabriel, energetic, brave, optimistic, and playful. This totally makes sense, and again, I'm getting this travel sense, so I do feel as though there's travel on the cards for you this year, and perhaps I feel as though it's more of an idea at this point, like as in the planning stages, maybe that passion and lust to travel, to go somewhere, to meet. Follow your passions. You're ready for any challenge, opportunities, and excitement and adventure. And that is exactly it. I feel as though this feels exciting. I need to sneeze. I apologize, Taurus. No. Yeah, no. Interesting. Anyway. This... In terms of relationship, I feel as though if you're worried about a partner with this distance, I feel as though they are all in. However, I feel like they are actually going through something themselves where they are, whether it be a promotion or something that is bringing them kind of happy times or good times. And I feel like so their heart is with you even though they may be elsewhere with their priorities, their mindset at the moment. So I feel as though this is sort of saying, look, be brave, be optimistic right now. And I feel like optimism with the astrology as well in the air at the moment, Taurus, that it is a really good thing for us to be optimistic about anything in any areas of our life. And this card really embodies that. It's saying to just kind of, it's like, set your mindset to manifest things by being playful, being creative. Again, the astrology is all about being creative. Actually, I said that in my post says. I think I started touching on that, about it being a time of being creative. And I just realized, sorry, my mind's gone back to that, and I don't think I actually read the card properly because I started talking about other things. Quite interesting for myself, sorry. Yeah, I feel like we definitely have love in our minds, and this may be quite back and forth. Now, be optimistic about it, be hopeful, see the best. I feel like this is your best interest in terms of relationship, and making it work. I say make it work because I do feel like you need to put in the personal work within your relationships, as though this is a time of healing old wounds in terms of relationships. With this card, it's Knight of Raphael. Romantic, dramatic, poetic, and introspective. Sounds. This is all about committed relationships, and I definitely got this here. I feel as though both people are committed in terms of relationships, so if you're having any concerns, acknowledge if they are just, worries, emotional worries, because I feel as though where there may be a warning, it's all about your own personal insecurities rather than actually things that are outside of yourself. I do feel as though your partner may very well do something kind of romantic to help the situation if they are away from this, which is really cool. It says with this card about being swept off your feet, but I do feel as though I just get this dynamic of you being a strength here, as though romanticizing and seeing the hope, the faith, and having that level of trust, that in itself is what's sweeping you off your feet. It's you coming to this place where you're in a relationship that's healthy, and it makes you realize how lucky you are, and how lucky your partner is. And I get that dynamic here. But they're very well, maybe somebody who sweeps you off your feet, and offers something for you. No, not them ones, remember, they're school ones. Not school ones. Yeah, I do feel as though this is really good in terms of relationships. Now, in the next ones, we have our Indigo Angel cards. Time to create. Now, that's what Come Within My Purse says. I don't think I read it. I just said it and then said, yeah, it is time to be creative, and that's that. But yeah, astrologically, we are very supported in this moment. We're in Pisces season. It's about be creative. I feel as though creating something that is going to just make you kind of have fun in the process of creating it. It's like doing something for the fun of it. It doesn't have to have an end goal. It's about being playful. But at the same time, in terms of goals, in terms of career, in terms of anything that you're aspiring to, now is the time to get creative and begin those projects or continue them but be creative with it. I kind of feel as though if something is not working, it's because you're trying to do it in a very straightforward, serious way. Why are you touching that? It's a cobweb. And so I feel as though the wisdom with this is to be a bit more playful and creative. Get thinking like the creative juices rolling. Get them changing things up a little bit is what I want to say. The next card is to explore. I definitely see travel for you. I just feel as though travel is in your mind and in the cards for this year. You're beginning a journey though, and I want you to explore the ideas that anything is possible. I do feel as though in the coming months, gradually we are going to be, it's like unraveling a new version of ourselves, and I feel that this has been beginning. I do feel, and I feel this very greatly for myself, about really being brought back all the way down to the bone, where now you're at a place where absolutely everything is an adventure because you're rebuilding, you're recreating. And that is exactly why I feel with this Explore card. It's saying go for it. Now, I've been saying this for us for a while, Taurus. We need to be facing our fears. If the only reason we're not doing something is because it scares us, it makes us feel a little bit apprehensive, I feel like don't blindside yourself in thinking that's intuition, because it's a fear, and a fear is just there to literally stop you and slow you down. And this energy that we're living in right now is all about facing those fears. What? The door? Do you want to open the door? Yeah. Sis, can you open the door for Rooney, please? So he's in charge of that while I'm recording. You already know. And I feel like when I'm saying this, like, don't blindside yourself with it being intuition. I feel like you understand that might be something you do. If anything makes you feel anxious, which I totally understand, I feel as though we actively be like, maybe that's a sign, and not do it, or really withheld yourself to a point where you're overthinking it and before taking the leap. But it's not. It's a time to leap. It's time to be playful, have fun, realize that life is literally just something to explore and have fun with. We get very, very serious these days, and we make life very miserable because we overanalyze everything. I do think if we didn't do that, like, what would be the risks in that? What would that mean? It would mean you actually went on adventures. You actually tried things. You realize what works and what doesn't, instead of thinking it might not, thinking that doesn't work, instead of knowing. And this is what I feel like this. I feel like you already know exactly what holds you back. The next step is to take those steps. Okay. So up here I have two cards. I have Decisions in reverse, which is Archangel Jophiel, and Patience, which is also Archangel Jophiel. Interesting. And these are two totally different decks. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's definitely about releasing yourself from what holds you back. Now, the Decisions card is about letting go of anything that hinders you, and again about facing fears and releasing yourself from that cage that you're trapped in. It's like releasing your beautiful colors. The card that's paired with it, Patience, it's Archangel Jophiel says, your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and patience. And I think you need to realize that we're in the early steps. We're stepping into this way of being. So it's going to be a little uncomfortable sometimes. So it might be, you need to take a step back to make decisions that are more truly authentic with you. I'm going to use myself as an example here to help us understand exactly the energy that I'm feeling with this. For example, I have always been in relationships, and I've always been in relationships where I put my partner's needs or people around me, I will kind of just allow myself to flow into that, because I'm pretty easygoing. I don't care either way. It's kind of that kind of energy. But when I'm being in that energy, I realize it's me not making decisions. I'm putting those decisions in other people's hands, or I'm making decisions that's better for them but not for me. And that's where I lose myself. I become unhappy in relationships because for 10 years, 8 years, my entire life, I have not really taken the leap of really thinking, I just want to go and have fun. Like, I dropped friends, not dropped friends, but when they kind of, you stop hanging out with them as much. Like, I had some great college friends, but like the type of person I am, because I put my all into a partner, like if they don't like hanging around with my friends, I want to hang around with my partner. So I will just, might not hang out with them as much. Or then if a partner says, oh, I don't really like that person, and like, I'm somebody who's like, I don't care if you don't like them, I love them, they're awesome, but I take into consideration my partner, and slowly I just stop seeing that person as much. And it sucks, and that's just the person that I have been, right? So being in that energy means I've just always hindered myself and closed myself off really from my world and put myself in other people's worlds. And so for me, I'm now in this space where I truly am in charge of what's in my life and what's not. I am in the beginnings. I don't have anything in my life other than me and my children, and we're going to have to move at some point. And I know that I'm in these steps, and I felt very uncomfortable and very uneasy. Well, both fly. That's a good sign. But I know that it's necessary for me to take the time to kind of let things unravel, for me to make decisions based on myself instead of allowing other people's decisions to really rule where I'm going, what's next, that kind of vibe. And I'm in the early stages, and I do need to be patient with myself. And that's exactly what Jaffa is saying, that we need to be patient, understand that to build up the confidence, we need to understand who we are and take that time to slowly let go of the layers. I do feel like we're in this era where we are all unraveling, peeling back those layers and revealing who we are underneath. We are no longer wanting pretense, and it started generations and generations ago, and we're now in the generation of being the truly most comfortable uncomfortable people, because we are more comfortable now in being our authentic selves than the mask. And that is monumental, because no generation before us has been able to feel this way, truly. Obviously, there have been individuals, and even then, they are icons, because they, in that time, were able to do it. And now we're in this time where there's so many of us coming through. So this is your time to join the masses, and we do not accept anything but authentic, and just be able to be truly ourselves. And that might be tiny. It might not be being bold. It's bold for you. It's bold for your life, because not everybody else's shines in the same way, and that's what makes us shine the brightest, when we all shine differently together. I feel like I went off on some kind of, I was going towards a Christmas tree analogy or something there. I don't know. Next card, 3 of Raphael. Reasons to celebrate. A community of friends. Happy announcements regarding relationships and children. I do feel like this is a great time for relationships. I feel like we have done the work, dropping things that do not align with us, and this is a really good time for us rebuilding that. I'm getting kind of new friends, new communities. If you have been going to, like, hanging out with a group of friends or something new in, like, the last month, for like starting this new year, coming into something new, I feel like this represents that of you building your own community for yourself. I do feel as though in terms of relationships, things are really blossoming really well. Again, I do feel things moving slowly, but I feel like slow and surely wins the race. I don't know why I said that. It's how it came into my brain as I'm saying it. So I just feel as though, understand you're on a journey, so patience really is key with this. Now, to the side of this, I don't feel like it came with this card, it came to the side, but I feel like it's the right time to read it. I got the card Claircognizance. This is Archangel Uriel. Pay attention to your thoughts and ideas that come to you, as they are the answered prayers. I feel like you've been hoping and dreaming and wanting something in regards to relationship, and I feel like this is now blossoming to a point where you're seeing results. And it's a good feeling. I do feel like you feel emotionally supported. And again, it doesn't necessarily feel external. I feel like the external is finally matching your internal kind of desires, which is exactly what we've been hoping for and what we're wanting. I'm loving it. Then below this, we have the card Acceptance, and that's exactly what I've been saying here. I feel like we are reaching this level of wanting to feel acceptance in all areas of our lives, and this is coming into fruition. Again, early stages, I feel like we're not just beginning, we're in there, our toes are in the water, we're ankle deep, and we're wading in the pool on this nice hot day, and it feels lovely. That kind of feeling here, where you're seeing the potential, you're seeing it blossom, but it's still growing. We're not finished, we're not quite there, we're still moving towards those things that we're desiring. To the side of this card, I have 7 of Michael. There is a better course of action available to you. Working alone may not be the best answer. Right, with this card, exactly with the astrology at the moment for us Taurus specifically, is we need to realize we don't have to do everything alone. That kind of thought for me is really terrifying, because I do everything alone. I think I've learned through childhood and upbringing that I can only rely on myself. So the best person to do anything is myself. But admittedly has led me to quite a lonely, miserable life because I am very much don't invite anybody in unless I feel very comfortable with them. I feel like that's a kind of spectrum thing for me, with social anxiety and just not being able to be not awkward. But this is saying, you know, we are communal beings. We thrive in communities. We thrive when we all have our purpose and work together towards a greater good, greater goal. And this is exactly what it's saying. It's like, don't feel bad. Don't stop yourself from reaching out. Actually, don't feel bad. It doesn't feel right. Don't stop yourself from reaching out. I understand if you want to reach a goal, the quickest way of doing that is by having teamwork, by working together. Again, community just above this. Pardon me, sorry, I'm very burpy today and sneezy. I do feel like I'm unwell as well. I'm feeling as though the quick way is not the right way. The way that is going to get you where you need to go, it's not clear right now. Yeah, again, this is why I keep saying, I think, hold back. We're in the early stages. I feel as though if you're expecting something to just be straightforward and like you're going to get there, we're in March, we're going to be there by April. It's not, it's part of the journey. We're still a backpack on and you're walking into the woods, that kind of vibe. But again, there's going to be people along the way. I feel as though it might be kind of surprising on who might be the who. As though you, this time last year, you could not even envision this coming into your life. That's what I'm seeing specifically with like people. As though there's going to be new people, new connections for you. Interesting. Mother Mary. Okay, so there's a feminine energy here. Mother Mary signifies nurturing and being kind to yourself. I definitely get the sense of there being feminine energy around you. This could be the communal vibe as well. It seems as though it's supportive, and I feel as though actually, as I'm looking at Mother Mary, you may be meeting with people who have been through the same things that you have, who can really understand where you're coming from. It gives me kind of a saddened, like, you know, when you see groups of women all talking about the trauma that we've been through. For example, every single woman, at least my generation, has been objectified in their teenage years when they were way too young to actually be objectified. And so we have left this feeling that men are actually pigs because of being that objectified as a child, really, potentially. And then we all get together and we've all had those same experiences. We've all been in nightclubs where we have been touched in places where nobody should be touching unless they know you more than a high. And we've all been walking down the streets and felt scared when a man has followed us, or when somebody catcalls us when we're all alone. Those type of situations that we are not accepting in this life today. That kind of energy here is what I'm getting from Mother Mary, as though you're meeting people who understand you and what you've been through, your trauma. This might not just be, obviously this is not just gender-based, my readings, this can be male too, but what I'm saying is I feel as though you may find that there is some familiarity and understanding coming from a feminine place here. I'm getting this kind of tribe of women kind of energy, which is really quite interesting. Eight of Michael. I just want to touch back on that Mother Mary, but as I say that, I also get that maybe this could be a sense of mothering issues. Specifically, if you are male, I feel as though here it's like a healing the maternal line here with this. Whether you feel a mother from an external source or a reconnection with your mum, that could be what this card can represent as well. As I was moving away from it, it just was pulling me back for that. Eight of Michael. You can be free. It's definitely about releasing yourself from your own personal burdens. I do think, Taurus, for us, our biggest hindrance is our own fears and not wanting to take the big risks. For some reason, this is really keeps being like a wall here of you overcoming that. And that's what makes you stop you seeing things clearly, because the fears of whatnots. And I'll use myself as an example. So I do have to move at some point. Now I have 3 cats. I have 3 kids. And this is going to be the first time that I'm doing this all alone as the only adult. So it's quite scary. I don't want to rent. I'm in Australia. I've not rented in Australia really. I have 3 cats, and having 3 cats in a rental is going to be very hard, right? So I just think of all these, if I rent, I can't have my cats, all these blockages, and they're just fears of the unknown, right? And this stops me from seeing clearly, stops me seeing my answers of what I can do. And that's exactly what this card represents. It represents realizing that your fears, guys, you've just knocked the charger out, I think, careful. Not seeing things clearly, and that's what's stopping you from the vision. Why is my laptop gone off? Is it still recording? Oh, I thought you weren't recording then. I was going to cry. Okay, moving on to the next card. Clear your space. So this is Archangel Jophiel as well. Again, that's why it went off. Can you pass me that, please? Get rid of the clutter. Clear your energy around you. Use Feng Shui. So this card really is saying get rid of any toxic things. Actually, I had this thought a minute ago as well, so it obviously needs to be said about you really clearing any bad habits and releasing yourself from the toxic burdens that brings with it. I'm having to multitask and plug you in at the same time because my laptop moans when it's not plugged in. Anything that's hindering you and stopping you from progress, it's about clearing that space. Now this can be very literal. Once you start clearing your home, so if you're getting a bit cluttered, if you're like me, I'm self-diagnosed. I think I'm going to go get tested actually, but being myself that thinks I have ADHD and autism makes me I'm so anxious about actually going to do it. So I've been thinking for months on end that I need to do this and I haven't done it. But anyway, so basically my area can get quite cluttered, and I get so overwhelmed by it that I'll either clean for hours and hours and hours, or tidy for hours and hours, and it feels like nothing gets done. And then I'll procrastinate and I won't do anything for a whole day, and I feel like I've done a lot but I've done nothing, and it's all mentally and all that kind of thing. But by having a clear home, by having a declutter and get rid of loads of things that you don't need, clearing your space helps your mind be clear, because again, even if you are not neurospicy or whatever, when your surroundings are cluttered, you might not realize, but it affects how you function in the world. Because instead of coming into a space and being like, okay, what do I want? What am I doing? Focusing on the task at hand, you're subconsciously, oh, I need to pick them clothes up. Oh, I need to sit down here. Let me just move these cushions out the way. And it's just little things that we don't realize are distractions in everyday life. So having your clear space, having your surroundings decluttered can really actually do a whole lot for your progress, just your personal growth, just your general well-being and feeling in your home. So I do feel like that is very much, but I also feel this can mean friendships, people, humans that are bringing you toxicness in your life. I kind of got this sense of career, work-wise, that if there is something there that's not in alignment with you, maybe it's time to clear that space and make room for something new. The next card, we have Queen of Michael. Brilliant, self-reliant, insightful, and humorous. Okay, so this card represents very much that you already know over here. It's basically saying you know exactly what's what. You're a very intuitive person. In terms of career and relationships, it's time for you to put the attention into something that's going to bring you exactly what you desire. I feel like prosperity here and abundance is a kind of big focus. So I do feel like it might be a time for you to shift your focus from relationship, because all that's going great over here, and it's time to focus on gaining experience in the areas where you want to be experienced in. So if you want to change your career, you need experience elsewhere. You need to experience something is what I want to say. And this literally could be going out of your comfort zone and doing something a little bit different. Could potentially open you up to new experiences or ideas, or further progressing in a career. I don't know what that means, but that might mean something to you. I'm also drawn to yellow flowers in this column. I feel like it's very much job related. So I would say this is in what we desires and what we really want to bring into our lives, what we want to grow and bloom. And this is like sacral chakra area. This is really aspirations, life goals, our life purpose. And I feel like the focus needs to be on building that for ourselves. Next we have Ace of Ariel, which is again great ideas coming through. It's lucky, it's time for money growth, it's time for prosperity. It comes with you putting in the work to get to this card, but this is saying that you are supported. There may be a change in career for definite. We have literally 3 cards that instigate a change of career, a change of direction, a change of job, or a promotion. So I do feel like it's going to be a lucky time, a lot of abundance coming to us, Taurus. This is ending. Our final card is Compassion. We have Archangel Michael. With respect, soften your heart with respect to this situation and all the people involved, including yourself. So be kind to yourself. I do feel as though you're going to be reaping the rewards, but I do get this sense of hard work, and I do feel like the hard work might actually just be mental, because I have this feeling all the way into this that it's about us, overcoming our fears and those boundaries, and with that comes kind of those negative self-talks, self-doubts, which Taurus I feel has come through us in the past, especially last year, where we may start doubting ourselves or allow their fears to stop us from progressing. And I feel like you need to be compassionate and kind to yourself and understand why you feel the way you do, and understand that there's no rush. We are being told to be patient through this. And when we're stripping off the old layers and revealing new, when you reveal new, it's usually raw, innocent, vulnerable, but very powerful. Just like a newborn. Think that way. Newborns are very powerful energy, but they're also vulnerable and we can need assistance. You need support during this time. Sometimes that support comes from yourself, but realize that you are surrounded by support, and I definitely get the sense of building up your tribe and community will definitely be your biggest asset for you during March. So thank you so much, Taurus. Thank you for being here. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Every subscription helps me to continue giving you these readings, and know that I'm not just wasting my time. Thank you, Taurus. I'll see you next month. Thank you, guys.